On today's episode of PJ and the Beard, we're going to look at a pedal that is from someone who's become a friend of the channel. Mm-hmm. But before we get into all of that, I'd like to ask you to consider subscribing to the channel, clicking on the notification bell. That way you know what we're up to. That helps us connect with great people in the industry, and in this case, RFO Electronics. But before we get into what we got in today, anybody remember this?
Yeah, if you watch the Electra series. So, if you watch the Electra series, you might ask yourself, wow, that sounds a little bit like a Uni-Vibe, and they did not make a cartridge for the electric guitar that was a Uni-Vibe. They did, and RFO did. And we discovered tonight that that actually has LEDs in it. It's a 4-stage, just like a real Uni-Vibe, right, using LEDs instead of like a real light bulb. How cool is that?
Right.
Now, the interesting thing is, in addition to making some different modules, so he had his Elmo module. Right. He has an Elmo pedal. He made that into a module. He has a fuzz pedal, an octave fuzz pedal module, octave fuzz module, and super fuzz module. He does electro distortion circuit. He's done a bunch of stuff.
Yes.
But I think he has a passion for vibe. And so we have here, this is not what we're doing tonight. We have the Real Vibe by RFO. Probably one of the cheapest, like, kind of real replications of a real Uni-Vibe you can find, according to him, you know.
Right.
And I believe him, because I've looked at the prices. If you look at, like, the...
We've talked about doing a Vibe series, and we're like, we ain't got that kind of scratch.
Right, yeah. I mean, because they can go anywhere from $400 or $500 up to $700, $800, up to $1,000, depending on who you're buying them from. If you're not just, you know. So we're really looking forward to diving into this. This is going to be super cool. Kind of, this is it. Mm-hmm. Has the light bulb, 4-stage phaser, boom. The Waterfall, I guess it'll be right here, right? The Waterfall, he wanted to create a vibe that would fit on people's pedal boards, that would be sub 200, maybe even less, like that 150 to 200 range, depending on where all the things work out.
Friendly form factor.
Friendly form
Doesn't
factor.
take up too much real estate.
Right. Can use a 9-volt adapter, like off of Voodoo Lab Pedal Supply or something like that. And sounds 95%. I think that was his number, right?
Yeah, his number and his claim was like between studio and playing live. Like that 5%.
You're not going to notice.
Live.
Right. I mean, we all know, like, what you're hearing in your room when you're by yourself at a studio might not be what you're hearing and wherever it is you play out live. So I think that's really cool. And we were totally blown away by that module when it came for the electric guitar. We're just as blown away tonight with the Waterfall. So I think we just let them hear it.
We should.
So first clip. I put it to the vibrato setting that nobody uses because even it sounds good, right? And crank the speed up a little bit. It's, you know, I always have that, like, looking for a little bit of a Leslie-ish thing out of anything that makes any kind of modulation sound. So here it is. All right, that was my 2000 PRS McCarty through the Waterfall into the Echo Tour from DLSFX into the Tyler amp as usual. First clip.
We're keeping it clean for the kids who might be watching. We're keeping it clean. I grabbed the Beard's wife's favorite guitar, and I also went clean, and I tried something different. I tried the chorus side, and I completely jacked the depth, almost dimed it, and turned the speed almost off, and played something like this.
Since my wife hates the teal green transparent color of the 99 American Deluxe Strat, I have to have a backup. So this is my American Strat from 2014, 60th anniversary. I have proclaimed on this channel many times not to be a Strat player, right? Right. So it's not my thing, but I know people want to hear Uni-Vibe sounds of Strat sometimes. So the Waterfall into a Barber Electronics Direct Drive, and really was just trying to hit some of those things, some of those chords and stuff in that vein that you would kind of hear how the Uni-Vibe sounds with that. So if you keep the hate to a minimum, that would be appreciated. Just to add to the fun, I grabbed an original Tube Screamer, which another famous Uni-Vibe user probably used, and I don't play anything like him either. But I decided, because I'm not a purist in any of this stuff, because Uni-Vibe is kind of new to me, I dared to put this in front of the Vibe, and I ended up grabbing the PRS Silver Sky SE, through the Tube Screamer, into the Waterfall, into the Echo Tour, into the Tyler, and I played this. So this honestly showed up today, and basically the clips were we just sat down and started playing with it, and it sounds great. We've done a lot of Uni-Vibes. We have a lot. It's kind of a lie. We have a lot of Uni-Vibes. We've been wanting to do a series, so we've been kind of collecting them, and I'm going to tell you, this sounds great. So what I think we need to do is just run the knobs for you real quick. I got the speed about halfway up. I'm going to have Pat play, and we'll move that depth from 0 up to 12. And then I'm going to do it again and click it over to the vibrato side so you can hear both sides of the depth. We'll do that to start. Do you want to do a clean tone?
Yeah, because we didn't do that yet. The PRS Silver Sky. Echo. You hear it?
As we were doing this, I almost felt like maybe that's a little unfair. It gives you an idea. Mm-hmm. It's an unfair idea because I don't know if you noticed this, as we've been playing with it tonight, the depth reacts to the speed. I feel like the depth reacts to the speed. Like there's times where like the depth sounds really choppy, but if you turn the speed down,
right,
it opens up a little bit and stuff. So it's not... I don't know. We'll leave the depth up pretty high, and we'll run the speed knob, and maybe you'll be able to hear a little bit of what I'm saying. This is and I just wanted to point it out real quick. This is a 4-stage phase. Well, it has 4 LEDs in it, 4 sensors in it. When you flip to vibrato, you take 3 of those out.
It's one thing.
That's our limited understanding of how it works. So we're gonna go back to chorus, and we'll do the speed knob for you.
All right.
Yeah.
I love the depth. I guess we'll get into final thoughts here in a minute, but
I think this is final thoughts.
here
Yeah.
we are, final thoughts. Yeah, again, being new to Uni-Vibe, I love chorus, I love tremolo. I really like what this depth does. I feel like it brings in some of the low end that gets peeled away by some of this stuff, and especially when you're running it completely clean. It almost turns into like a tone shaping knob for me, and I like it. And like you said, there's a real relationship between the depth and the speed. Like you can get that speed jacked up pretty fast, but as long as you don't have the depth up too bad, it's kind of subtle. I know that's how it works, but then you turn the depth up, it gets a little crazy, then you turn the speed back down. So you can just really find a lot of different sounds, and then flipping between chorus and vibrato. I mean, obviously, my family's going on a cruise over the summer, and to get them prepared, I'll bring this pedal to the house and dime it on vibrato and play it and see if they can withstand it. It'd be like Dramamine, but I think it's really cool. I think you can get some really great sounds out of it. I think you did an amazing job of taking that cartridge and putting it in there. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think what happens is he takes the real vibe, his knowledge he's gained from the real vibe, distilled that down to the cartridge and went, oh wow, with the LEDs this worked really well. So let's build this back up into the Waterfall. We're talking about a guy that's, you're not building the real vibe and studying this. People that are into the vibe stuff are a little crazy about it.
Like the envelope filter people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even worse. I mean, they're like meticulous. Like they want it to be like the one that Jimmy had on the floor. Right. And so they spent a lot of time on that. So we're talking about how to put this. Because I was thinking, when you were talking and playing, I was thinking about this. Jeffrey, RFO Electronics, he digs this. Mm-hmm. So a sub $200 Uni-Vibe, 90% of the way to the real thing, 95% of the way to the real thing. Sound wise, you're not going to miss it. Mm-hmm. We've played a bunch of them, and this, I'm not going to list the ones that are in the room, but this sounds really good. Mm-hmm. And he's making them. Right.
In our home state.
Yeah. There's something to, we like small pedal builders,
right,
too. So, if you can't tell, we like the vibe. If you like Uni-Vibes, check it out. We'll put a link down to RFO's Instagram page or something, so if you want to reach out to him and find out what he's doing, you can do that. Really cool stuff. And I think, with the exception of, we got to get on to the big boy. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hitting the subscribe button, clicking the notification bell, hitting the like button, or whatever it is. Anytime you interact with the show, like Pat said in the beginning, that's what makes this possible. That's what helped us make that connection with Jeffrey over at RFO Electronics and bring cool stuff to share with you. And with that,
I'm PJ on behalf of the Beard, reminding no matter what you hear, you never have too much gear. Looks like it's time for a new shirt with a new pedal that says Vibe.
Yeah.
We're doing a Dan and Mick thing today.